I'm Orgone Chemist, and this is Precise Science. Peace, everybody. Welcome back to the show. If you're here for the first time, welcome. I appreciate your viewership, your support. If you can't see or can't tell by the shirt, I've just returned from Puerto Viejo in Costa Rica. It is on the Caribbean coast of Costa Rica, and it was wonderful. It was lovely. We went to a great hotel, Hotel Banana Azul. We stayed in the treehouse. Wonderful accommodations. It was absolutely beautiful. 24-hour pool right on the beach. Waterfall in the pool. It was really nice. So I had a lot of fun with that. But I wanted to speak a little bit about being able to use technology to manifest. A lot of people ask me how it is that I was able to get myself out of the United States, get to Costa Rica, pack up everything, leave everyone behind who I love, and essentially start over in a new country with, nothing that I was used to and none of my personal effects. So I wanted to sort of merge this idea of technology with the idea of attracting what you want, or manifestation, if you will. So that's what this episode is going to be about today. And guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I have a lot of information coming for you. I want you to be able to get this information every time I put it out. I want you to be able to share it with others. So subscribe, hit the subscribe button. It takes like 0.2 seconds, all right? And let's get right into it. All right, but first, before we get into this technology side of things, I wanted to give you guys a little insight about shopping in Costa Rica. So if you are expecting to have the same shopping experience in Costa Rica that you would have in the States, if you're expecting a cheaper one, it depends on what it is that you're buying. If you would like to buy the same brands, the same gear, the same labels as in the States, they are going to tax you almost double what you would pay in the States. You're going to be paying that here. So it is a great idea to look for alternatives, and that is what I've had to do. I had an instance or a situation at the airport where they wouldn't let me bring my other crate. I had like two 150-pound crates. They wouldn't even let me put it in oversized baggage because of some COVID restriction that makes absolutely no sense. So I had to purchase some new shoes over here. And when I went to go buy the standard pair of Nikes that would have cost me like $60 in the States, they wanted like $100 and something for the low end basic Nikes. So I deaded that. So what I was able to do was to find a pretty quality shoe that is from Central America, this area. It is a Venezuelan shoe. So I haven't opened the box yet. I tried on a pair at the store, but I haven't opened the box yet. I wanted to wait for you all to show you this unboxing. So here we go. The store I got it from was Extremos. It's a sporting store out here. And the name of the shoes are, it looks like RS Performance. RS Performance. It's the top of the box. So, and these shoes were $53 for some quality shoes, for a pair of quality shoes. Gives you, RS Performance gives you your own bag, I guess. And there is this slogan, "You can fly." Pretty dope. And then these are the shoes. This has the tag on it still. These are trainers. Just a basic, these look kind of like the Nike Hirachis, the MX Hirachis, but It's a basic sneaker. I needed something to be able to run in. I was only able to bring a pair of Crocs and a pair of Air Maxes that I'm wearing now, but I don't want to run in them. I don't want to mess them up because it's like my only shoes that I could wear with something nice. So I got these, and I almost don't want to mess these up. These are really nice. But for $53, if I mess these up, I can go buy another pair, and I'm not spending almost $150 on a basic pair of sneakers. If these had Nike on them, these would be like $150 or somewhere around there. And I am a spendthrift, so I like to save my money more than I like to spend it. Not gonna happen. All right, so back to the subject matter at hand. Technology, manifesting, attracting everything that it is that you deserve, that was created for you. All right, so all you got to do is, as they say, reach out and grab it. Put yourself in the predicament to be able to attract what you want, right? That is the start of it. However, there are steps in between there. Like if you want to go somewhere, you don't just snap your fingers or say, hey, I want to be there, and you open your eyes and you're there. You have to actually get in your vehicle, get on a bus, start walking towards that place or that destination. So the same is true for what you want when you're striving to manifest. So I got a few steps for you, a few things that you can do, and leverage a few tools, if you will, to assist you in your manifestation abilities. So let's get right into it. All right, so first, something that a lot of intuits or empaths, whatever we're calling ourselves nowadays, something that we don't really like and we're not really good at, but is absolutely necessary, and we're always being sort of like, it's always being pressed upon us or impressed upon us by spirit, but it's organization. You have to, I know, man, I know, cringeworthy, right? But you have to learn how to organize your day. You got to learn how to schedule things. You have to learn how to take accountability of not just your actions, but the things that surround you and the responsibilities that you have and the interest that you have, making time for the things that you love. What a lot of us don't realize is our creative abilities are like the fuel that propels us forward towards our goals or whatever it is that we're striving to manifest. So if we're not being creative, if we're not using our skills, our powers, our abilities, we will remain stagnant. But in order to use them and continue on with all of the other obligations and all of the other goals and objectives that you have, you must organize your time. You must organize your tools if you're using anything from, tarot. If you're a designer, any kind of designer, you have tools that are associated with your craft. It doesn't always have to be spiritual or occult or anything like that. It's just what you do, what you love to do, what you contribute to the world, organizing. So a lot of us remain stagnant. A lot of us are not able to progress because we don't even have we haven't even taken account for all of the things that we have going on in our lives right now. All of the stuff that we need to structure our goals and our objectives around. So what we tend to see is chaos, nothing but chaos. We don't really see the progress because we haven't taken things and we haven't taken things and broken them down into bite-sized pieces that we can better organize and structure our lives around. That is thunder. So what I just said had to be powerful. Thunder came right after that. But yeah, so we haven't taken the time to organize our time, our lives, our practice, our creativity in such a way as to have a clear perspective of the future, where it is we are now, what it is we need to do to get to where we would like to go, and where we would like to go actually looks like. What I tend to run into a lot with people who are coming into understanding more about having a place in this world, so to speak, or a purpose in this world. they tend to not know what that purpose actually is. Like, yeah, I'm good at this, but I'm also good at that. I'm also good at this. I'm also good at that. Well, you can't narrow it down because you're not organized. When you clear things out and you create a path and you put things in their place, you can look at everything and analyze it and figure out what takes precedence, what is of the highest priority, what can be put aside for a moment and revisited at a necessary time or at a better time, and what you should be working towards the most. So organization helps with that. And some of the tools that I use, some of the technology tools that I use for organization are, number one, listen, Google Calendar. If you don't have a Gmail account, if you don't have a Google account, get one. I know Google, I get it, all right? But this isn't about them, it's about you. Get a Google account, and if you already have a Google account, start utilizing your Google Calendars. The reason I say that is because it is an immense tool for scheduling, for keeping everything all in one place. You can attach certain documents to your events. You can upload them to your cloud, to your Google Cloud. You can attach those documents to your events. So let's say that you have some sort of class that you need to go to, or some sort of class that you're teaching, and you would like the other person who you're teaching or the other person who you're consulting to have access to a document. Well, you can invite them to that Google Calendar event and put in the notes section the PDF file or the docs file or whatever. You can attach it to that event. That is tremendously helpful in making sure that everything is in the right place, getting documents to people quickly without having to email them, or the like. But the best thing that I love about Google Calendar is, and I'm not being paid for this, this is just, it's something that has helped me a lot. You can color code things and you can look at your day, look at your week, look at your month, look at the next 2 weeks, look at your year, and know exactly what's coming for you. You can get up in the morning or in the rising and see what your day is going to look like. You can go to bed and look for the next day, what it is that you should be anticipating or be preparing for. And that is how you can move in such a way that is conducive to your growth, okay, by being prepared. So organization is the first step, and the technology that I use is Google Calendars for that, all right? Another thing with Google Calendar is goal setting. They have a function in Google Calendar that allows you to set a goal, set the time for the goal, be reminded about the goal every day, and have specifics within that goal, or within that function, that goal that you set, of what you should be doing in order to reach that goal. The objectives that you should be completing and accomplishing. Each step of the way, you're able to outline that. And Google even helps you with some things. But others, obviously, you're going to have to do your own research, your own exploration, your own organization, if you will, and build that goal out. But I love goal setting, that goal setting function in Google Calendars. And I know that you will too if you utilize it correctly. Next is going to be programming. We've been programmed from a very young age, from our parents, from school, from the television, of course, television programming. We always say that, right? It's a redundant topic or term, but we have been programmed every single day of our lives since before we've reached the enlightenment or the basis of enlightenment that we have reached, right? To even be here and be watching this video means that you're striving to get somewhere. You have a purpose that you're striving to live out and fulfill. So in order to do that and bring forth to you what it is that is meant for you, you have to reprogram your mind. Your mind is nothing but a computer. Just like computers are programmed by programmers, you are the one who can program your own life or be subject to letting someone else program it for you. Okay, be that your job telling you what your value is by how they pay you, what roles they give you, how they review you, or it could be you. I'm not saying don't care, you shouldn't care about what anyone thinks, but you should care more about what you think or what you put into your mind than what anybody else strives to put into your mind. So the best way to do that is, I know that, again, this is redundant, but those mantras or what people call positive affirmations. I don't necessarily call them positive affirmations because positive and negative are relative. They're completely subjective. But I am affirming to myself, or I am using a mantra that is going to get me one millionth of a step closer to wherever it is that I would like to go. And what I've realized, especially lately with like hiking, and I've always been a hiker, but later on in my life, it's gotten a lot harder for me with all of the injuries and things like that. So what I realized with hiking was, man, I'm at the base of this mountain. I have to get way up there. But if I just go step by step, piece by piece, climb rock by rock, eventually I will get to the pinnacle of this mountain. No matter how long it takes, I'm not worried about, or I'm not focused on, what the end result is going to be. I'm focused on the right now and the steps that it's going to take. I'm focused on the right now and the steps that it's going to take me to get to that end result. And once I get to that end result, then I can focus on it. So the way to take those steps, the way to climb rock by rock, is to affirm to yourself that what you're doing is bringing you closer to what it is that you want, and bringing what you want closer to you, because it wants you too. But you have to remind yourself of why you're doing the things that you're doing every day. So that's where that programming comes in. As soon as you get up in the rising, brush your teeth, wash your face. I shouldn't have to tell you that, right? But brush your teeth, wash your face. Look in the mirror and tell yourself whatever it is that you are going to, or that you have accomplished for yourself. That's another thing. We have the synaptic connections, the neuroelasticity and all that. All that is just fancy ways of saying that your mind tends to grasp or connect to things that you do, say, feel constantly. And that feeling is very important. So it is imperative that you feel what it is that you want, and stop disconnecting yourself from whatever that is. So let's say that you want a beautiful house on the river somewhere. You need to already be in the mindset that you have that home. Another thing that I strive to get people to stop saying is I'm grinding or I'm chasing a bag. To grind is not a positive thing. When you grind away at things, think about grinding away at your joints. Think about grinding your teeth. To grind is not a positive thing. So if you're on a grind, you are breaking yourself down. If you're chasing something, you're chasing a bag, you're chasing money, that indicates, or that implies at least, that it's running away from you. You should be able to attract it. And the way that you attract it is by already telling yourself, by already knowing, not faking it until you make it, but knowing that you have whatever it is that you're after. And there's no need to grind for it. There's no need to chase it. That rest is important. If you're working all the time because you're on a grind, remember, this is what you're telling yourself. You're chasing something, remember? Then you have no time to reflect, no time to repair. Anybody who works out knows that you have to rest in order for those gains to come. Your body has to repair itself and then renew itself in order for you to see those gains. But if you're constantly working out, never giving yourself a chance to rest, or giving yourself minimal rest time, then your results are going to be minimal. And it is the same for those of you who think that it's cool to grind. Why would it be cool for you to grind? Why would it be cool for you to chase some kind of bag? That's ridiculous. So you would like to attract money, wealth. Not just being rich. Rich is also relative. Wealth is anything from health to happiness to abundance. Those are the types of things that you would like to program your mind to attract to you, to bring to you. And the way to do that is by reminding yourself every single day that this is what you deserve, this is what you have, and this is what you're capable of. It's also really important for you to, if you're telling yourself, hey, I already have this, you have to put yourself in that physical place, in that physical neighborhood, in that office, if you want to be some sort of consultant or something like that. Go to those places physically. Put yourself there. Jim Carrey talks about it all the time, how he would drive to the neighborhoods that he knew he deserved to live in. That was him manifesting what it was that he wanted. And he wasn't going there looking as if this is something he wanted that was separate from him. He was going there as if he lived there. That is very important in order to attract what you want. When you separate something from yourself, you're telling yourself mentally, because your mind is just going to create the environment that you tell it to. Again, you're the programmer. So when you tell yourself, I want that, instead of I already have that, this is where I'm supposed to be, those are two different situations or two different environments that your mind is creating for itself. So if it's creating an environment where you're reassuring it that this is already theirs, this is already yours, I should say, then it's going to continue to create circumstances where it's behaving as if you already have it. So everything around you is going to behave or is going to reflect you already having it. So make sure that you consider that, and you're not separating yourself from anything. You're already knowing that it's yours, and you're in the types of environments that reflect it being yours, whatever that it is for you. And right next to you physically being there is the art of visualization. So if you want something, putting yourself in the position of already having it is as simple as you laying down on your couch, on your bed, in the grass. Grounding is great. It's even more potent actually for these types of exercises. But you laying there and visualizing yourself in that car, in that position, in that home, checking that bank account statement and having that amount that it is that you're looking for, whatever it is that you're looking for. I'm not here to judge you on what it is that you want. That makes me no never mind. But it's important for you to lay down, close your eyes, deprive yourself of, the stimuli that surrounds you, any loud music or people talking in the background. Make sure that you are at peace when you're doing this, or you're resting, and visualize yourself in that predicament, in that situation, wherever it is that you would like to be. That is critical, because what it does is it programs your mind to as soon as you open your eyes, for you to already be in that situation. Your mind has convinced itself, or has been programmed to operate as if it already has whatever. I keep saying this, but that's what it is. Your mind is programmed to operate as if you already have whatever it is you're looking for. It's that simple, okay? The next thing is behavioral modeling. Behavioral modeling. Really, it's either like there's no in between. It's either highly overlooked or highly relied on. And there is a point to where you're relying on behavioral modeling so much that you don't actually implement any of it. And there's also a point where you're striving to do everything so much on your own that you don't actually have a support team, or you don't actually have an example of what you should and shouldn't do. So you gotta find that nice balance. TLC has a song, What About Your Friends? And that is very important to think about. All the people around you in predicaments, in positions, in situations that you yourself want to be in. If you're getting relationship advice from someone who's, single, and you probably haven't seen them in a significant relationship, then that is obviously not someone who you would like to get your relationship advice from, no matter how you feel about them. The same thing for someone in business. You can't get you shouldn't be striving to get, I should say, business advice from someone who hasn't accomplished anything, or who goes from hustle to hustle, grind to grind, chasing bag to bag. Like, that's who you're going to model yourself after? When does it end? So make sure that you're modeling yourself after someone who at least you can verify has what it is that you're looking for, what it is that you're striving towards, and can give you the source, give you this precise science of exactly how to get it. So make sure that the person who is giving you the information is genuine. There's someone who really wants to see you win. They're not in some sort of quiet competition with you. Make sure it's someone who believes in building community and believes in helping the next person as sort of a system of energy that is circulating constantly that will propel us all. All right, crystals. There are a lot of powerful crystals out there, and I am no stranger to crystals. I am not against crystals, but I do feel like a lot of people rely on them to just make them feel better, as opposed to actually striving to extract their qualities or their properties. In other words, some people believe that just wearing the crystals is going to make them magical all of a sudden, without any sort of application, without any sort of objectivity. They just feel subjectively like the crystal is going to make them feel better. You can actually ignite fires with quartz, from quartz crystal. Computers are powered with quartz crystal. So if you're going to be using crystals, strive to really understand their physical properties, not just their metaphysical properties, because those physical properties obviously ascend to a metaphysical state, if that makes sense. Just like we can ascend to a metaphysical state, right? So strive to utilize their physical properties too. Some crystals that I love working with are moldavite, merlinite, just the really powerful enchanting crystals. And I love them so much because I can actually use them to sort of astral project. I can use them to enhance my meditation experience. I can use them to build things. I can use them to progress myself and not just hold them and feel better about myself, which of course they're very good for that, but that's not all they're good for. So if you're going to use crystals as technology for manifesting, make sure you truly understand what they are, what their uses are, what their benefits are, and how you can leverage them. All right, next, and one of my personal favorites, copper pyramids. Copper. This is copper. This necklace is copper. I wear a lot of copper jewelry. Copper is antibacterial, antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, anti-anything that is bad for you. Copper is the answer for that. I drink my water with copper in it by charging it with copper. It's just an all-around powerful metal. But copper pyramids to meditate in are also even more powerful than just, the smaller pieces of copper that we use around us. So I have a good friend who creates copper pyramids, and I will be dropping a link to her Instagram page where you can see the pyramids that she creates and how powerful they are. But I will forewarn you, if your diet is not right, most of these things that I am suggesting for you or referring you to are not going to work for you. And by diet, I mean, I'm not saying that you should be a vegan or anything like that, but I do highly recommend you fasting, you limiting animal products as much as possible. But whatever you feel like you would like to do is on you. I know that, our ancestors did eat animal products up to a certain point. So I'm not at all implying that you can't reach the heights that you feel are for you, that you're destined for, rather, without eating a certain way. I know that there are a lot of debates surrounding that. I know that there are a lot of people who disagree with me, but I have seen, look at Bobby Hemmett. That man ate pork. That man, you know what I mean? So I don't get into that debate. I've seen it all types of ways, and I don't necessarily believe that you have to eat a certain way in order to experience what is meant for you or to self-actualize. However, I have seen that fasting, limiting or eliminating altogether animal products, enhancing your water intake. I prefer coconut water. I don't really like regular water unless it's alkalinized. So I prefer coconut water. Doing all of those things highly influences your ability to work with certain items, especially or particularly these copper pyramids that are used for meditation. All right, so people use these copper pyramids for meditation, for grounding, which, obviously if you're meditating outside, you're getting that grounding effect as well. for just charging their overall frequency. I mean, these things are amazing. But there are also other benefits, both physically and emotionally. And those benefits are as follows: lowering blood pressure, increasing energy levels, detoxifying the blood, strengthening overall healing. So if you have any ailments that you're striving to heal, copper pyramids or sitting under a copper pyramid would definitely help that. And we'll get into a little bit more about healing physical and emotional ailments with other technology. Some mental or emotional benefits, however, are promoting positive thinking, clearing unhealthy thought patterns, encouraging self-development. Very important. That's what I'm talking to you about. It's self-development. Ultimately, if you want to manifest, you have to develop yourself. Reducing stress, also very important, and deeper relaxation, which I just spoke about. That rest is a very important element in determining how you're going to perform in life in general, okay? It also brings you back to the spirit realm where you can get more messages that come to you, okay? So rest is very important as well. Deep rest is very important as well, all right? The benefits spiritually include strengthening inner guidance, increasing our affinity with nature, very important again, deepening our sense of unity, our connection with everything universally, okay? And guiding us on the path to enlightenment. I know that seems kind of foo-foo and whatever you want to call it, but ultimately what we all should be striving towards is being the best version of ourselves that we can be, and that sort of comes along with the territory of going after being or becoming more enlightened. All right, so those are the benefits of that copper pyramid. I'll be sharing more with you on how you can get one, an affordable one. And also I should be bringing on my friend Johnny, who makes these pyramids, so that she can speak to us more about their specific benefits. So we'll have a show entirely about the benefits of healing using copper, using pyramids, using this form of meditation, all right? Okay, next is the Orgone Chamber. Orgone, O-R-G-O-N-E, Chamber, or Orgone Energy. You may be thinking of those little Orgone copper pyramids with the different crystals and stuff in there. I am talking about an Orgone Chamber. An Orgone energy is just chi, your life force energy. But a man by the name of Wilhelm Reich, I think I'm saying Wilhelm Reich. Yeah, like the Third Reich, actually. But Wilhelm Reich developed something called an Orgone Chamber in 1940. And he developed this chamber in order to put our electromagnetic field, our cellular structure, everything back in line with the Earth's energy, so that we could heal everything from physical disease, mental disease, ailments, pain, etc. All right? So in 1940, Wilhelm Reich constructed the first device to accumulate Orgone energy. A 6-sided box constructed of alternating layers of organic materials to attract the energy, Orgone energy, and metallic materials to radiate the energy towards the center of the box. Patients would sit inside the accumulator and absorb Orgone energy through their skin and lungs. The accumulator had a healthy effect on blood and body tissue by improving the flow of life energy and by releasing energy blocks. Okay, so this machine, this chamber, not even a machine, but this chamber put you back in the center of the type of energy that healed you. And I actually have a friend, his name on Facebook is Keith, son of Keith, right, who has built his own Orgone Chamber, and he's put seeds to grow his crops in the chamber. He has helped his father, who I believe had diabetes or some other ailment, to heal himself. So this stuff, people may call this pseudo, that's fine, couldn't care less. But in the midst of what we're dealing with this concept of a pandemic and us not really knowing what's true and what's not true, and wanting to protect ourselves and wanting to heal ourselves from this, I think this piece of technology is not only great for you manifesting and being in the best physical, emotional, and mental health to manifest, spiritual health to manifest, but it's also very important to be able to protect yourself. And I believe he built this chamber for anywhere from like $400 to $600 using material from Home Depot and Lowe's and the home improvement store. So you can absolutely do it. I'll be giving you information on how you can do it, some other videos you can look at to watch and build your own. But this thing is absolutely powerful. I highly recommend this for not only your health regimen, but also for your ability to manifest using technology. All right, so next, purple energy plates. I have a purple energy plate. I keep it on me. I keep it with me. I'm not going to show you just because I just don't want to, but purple energy plates are powerful items for enhancing your vibrational energy. They have compared them to, the feeling that people get when holding them to the healing energy of your mother kissing your boo-boo when you fall. You know what I mean? When you scrape your elbow or your knee and your mommy kisses it and you feel so good. Like, as corny as that is, the feeling, and I can attest to this as well, the feeling of having that plate is magnificent. It brings you back, just like that Orgone Chamber, but a lot quicker. It brings you back into balance with that source energy. People put it under their food, under their water, in order to, enhance the properties of their food or water. There have been even statements made about people putting wine on top of that purple energy plate and the wine turning to vinegar. It's that powerful. I usually wear mine in my front pocket or in my pants pocket. If I have on pants, if I have on a shirt with a pocket, I wear it there. It is magnificent. But let me tell you a little bit more about this plate and where you can get it, all right? All right, so the universe is permeated by a natural vibrational force that sort of breathes life into the cells of living plants, animals, and the human. The purple positive energy plates are designed to help raise the vibrational frequency of the body. So everything in the universe is energy and vibration. Each basic element of the known atomic chart consists of energy at different rates of vibration. Elements differ in vibration through the mere change in components such as protons and electrons. So purple plates are said to raise vibratory frequencies of anyone or any living things, plants, food, water, animals, crystals, etc. that they're put against, okay, that they're put on. Some people are using the purple plates to protect them against electromagnetic radiation or EMR in the environment and from EMR producing equipment such as computers, TVs, etc. So these plates have worked wonders for me in making sure that I'm in alignment, making sure that my thoughts, my feelings, my desires are all of the highest, greatest, good in order for me to achieve whatever it is that I'm looking to achieve. It is amazing for protecting yourself from radiation and just enhancing your frequency, and I highly suggest this as well. A link to that will also be in the description for you. All right, plant medicine. Yeah, we're gonna go there just briefly, not very much. I'm not gonna get all into it, just briefly. But plant medicine has really made a difference for me. I just microdose different mushrooms, but I highly suggest plant medicine, and I plan on taking an ayahuasca journey later on this summer. But I suggest it because it helps you, like it's shadow work in a plant. And you're going to need that shadow work. You're going to need to address that deeply rooted trauma or those deeply rooted maladaptive behaviors that you have or thoughts that you have in order to reach the highest version of you. That's the best way that I know to say it. You have to do root work. You think of a plant, it has roots. Those roots need to be fed. Those roots need to be nourished. Those roots, If they're left to just grow, they can get out of hand. They can wrap things up. They can, all types of things. But those roots need to be dealt with. And a lot of times, even with plants, we focus more on the fruit of the plant. We focus more on the leaves, on the branches. If we're talking about trees, we focus on those things rather than taking time to acknowledge how important the roots are. Your roots are very important. So, in this context, roots mean those deeply rooted traumas, issues, and behaviors. And with ayahuasca especially, I'll just give you some insight onto why I'm doing it. I know that there are some things that I need to work on as far as my views of life, my views of myself, of, the opposite sex, of the same sex, of just in general. There are things that I need to work on, and until I work on them, there is going to be a veil over my eyes spiritually that will inhibit me from being able to achieve what it is I'd like to achieve spiritually. All of these things that I've achieved are because of the spiritual work I've done. And I can't stand the word spiritual, but that's the only thing I can think of right now that be able to relate to. And I'm not religious, so I don't want to say anything that is religious specific or religion specific, but that deeply rooted trauma is very important to work on. That spiritual state of who you are is very important to reach in order for you to actualize whatever it is that you'd like to. So I am choosing ayahuasca because of that. I microdose mushrooms because of how much they help me cognitively. They help me as far as my senses are concerned. Those 6 senses are concerned. The 5 physical ones here on this realm, but the 6th one that connected me to other realms. I love the experience of microdosing, so that's why I did it. And I'm finally ready to go on. It's been calling me. My ayahuasca journey, La Abuelita, as they call her, which is the name for ayahuasca. I'm ready to do it. So if you're not ready to do it, that's fine. But think about it, like medicine is an area of technology, and that plant medicine is very important, which is why it's also very important what you're putting into your body. So, and you have to fast before these ceremonies, because what you put into your body can inhibit you, and you may be purging things so much that you're not able to allow the medicine to actually take. So I suggest that you research different types of plant medicine. It's not just a trip. You're not doing this for recreational purposes. You are doing this to grow. And if you're afraid of growth, if you're afraid of relinquishing control, which I historically have been afraid of relinquishing control, don't get it twisted, then wait until you can get to a point where you are more comfortable with that, where you trust your guides, your ascended masters, your ancestors more, to be able to lead you through this, and for you to be able to see them, to actually see them. It's going to be amazing, and I will be letting you know more about my journey, all right? But plant medicine, absolutely, highly, highly recommended when you are ready, when it calls you, all right? And finally, sound healing. I don't like to call it healing because healing is a very low vibrational term in my opinion. I like to call it activation. Activating. To heal means that you were hurt, and this is not saying that you don't have traumas, but use those traumas to activate. And I think that sound healing is a very important way to achieve that activation that you're looking for. Just shaking those cells around, getting them into the proper position that they need to be in, getting your vibratory, everything, all of this is about your vibratory rate being corrected, being, in tune with source. So sound bowl healing, sound activation, very important. And you can look up sound healing or sound activation near you. Also, I do believe in Reiki, just aligning as much as possible in order to continue on with what it is that you've been contracted to come back here and do upon reincarnation. Reiki is going to help you a lot with that. There is also Akashic record readings that you can get that will help you get some insight into your past life experiences and how they're affecting you, what traumas you've brought here with you, what karma you've brought here with you. There is also, past life contract breaking, where you can break those contracts that you've made in your past lives and brought here. All types of different forms of just working on who it is that you are and what it is that you would like for yourself. You're not tied to anyone's description of who you are or who you should be. You're not tied to anyone's trauma that they're pushing onto you, your parents, your grandparents, anybody. You can determine who you are, what you want, and what your purpose is just by tapping in. So these areas of technology, they're technology. Old, new, whatever, they're technology nonetheless. And I didn't want to just give you like computer stuff. I wanted to show you that we are in touch with, we have created technology since the beginning of time. We can utilize that technology, we can leverage it to get what we want. And we're not as far as we think from what it is that we would like to achieve, what it is that is meant for us. We just have to align ourselves with that and it will come. This stuff doesn't happen in days, weeks, months. That is not the timeline. We're talking about seasons. These things take seasons. So if you don't have the patience with yourself, with the people around you, with what's happening around you, then it's going to be very hard for you. This stuff happens in seasons. That's where the term seasoned vet comes from. Because that person had to endure many different seasons of doing something over and over and over again before they can be considered a veteran at what it is that they're good at doing. So you got to wait those seasons and know that it's coming for you. I deal with impatience all the time. That is one of my tests. That is one of my, one of the things that I have to improve about myself in order to get to where it is that I want to get to. And I don't always do the best with that. Like, I'm still moving forward, progressing with that. I haven't mastered it yet. But I know that it's coming and I don't beat myself up. I'm patient with myself. One of my affirmations is that I am patient with myself as I learn. I forgive myself as I learn. Because when we're beating ourselves up the way that our parents beat us up, the way that our peers beat us up about mistakes, we can't get past those mistakes because we're so worried about making them again that we're doing everything in our power not to. But you have to fall. You can't be afraid of falling. You can't be afraid of failure because you'll never progress. And it's the same there. So all these different forms of technology are just different ways of showing you that you are source and you are divine. It is your time. You have to just tap into those things. So if you have any different methods that you use for, self-activation, for motivation, for manifestation, for any of the Asians, let me know. Drop them in the comment section. I am willing to, I'm happy to bring you on for a show. You speak about what you know, what you've achieved, who you know. I'm not a one-man show. I understand that it takes a village, it takes a community to get to where it is that we'd like to get to. And my perspective is just one perspective. There needs to be other perspectives to help out the people who support me. So as always, don't forget, subscribe, hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share. You know the deal. If this information is helping you, please allow it to help someone else. Don't keep it to yourself. When you keep things to yourself, the saying goes, when you do things for yourself, you take that with you when you leave. But when you do things for others, you leave that here in this sphere. So spread this word, spread this information to others who you may think it helps. And again, like I said earlier, you are divine. It is your time. That is not just something that rhymes. I am Link Green, the chemist. This is Precise Science. Peace.
Come on.